Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Biscuit from the WoW podcast, Blue Please, over on CynicalBrit.com. I'd like to give you a look at 1000 Needles, which appears to have a few issues. Yeah. The whole bottom of it has been completely flooded, as you can very clearly see. They even broke the elevator by the looks of it. So all that is left are the small little outcroppings and the towns built upon them, connected by these rope bridges. So the majority of this zone is basically dead now. You had an awful lot of quests that were based around fighting on the floor of the sort of chasms right there, and as it turns out, it's all gone. However, you can easily go for a swim, and you will notice, as we're coming up right here, there are some Twilight's Hammer encampments. So there's obviously some culty stuff going on around here. As to what, I really don't know yet. Don't appear to be anything in this zone as of yet. It's funny because this is not the first time we've been to a Twilight camp and seen nothing there. So I have to wonder if that's all to do with some kind of phasing event, maybe some world stuff. I don't know. Looking forward to finding out, whatever the case. There's a couple of these encampments along the cliff sides of this particular zone. Aside from the fact that they drowned 80% of it, the majority of the content hasn't changed. All of the stuff that was on those risers appears to be still there. A Freewind post around here as well. Another one of those Twilight encampments off in the distance. One has to wonder what level the content's going to be here. Since there aren't really any mobs to judge it by, it's a little tricky to figure that one out. But whatever the case, you're in a situation where you're not going to be able to get across this zone particularly easily unless you're on a flying mount. You've got these outcroppings here that are completely inaccessible unless you're flying. So I wonder if this is going to end up having some high-level stuff going on. Now, there are a few other things in this zone that I would quite like to show you. One of the major features you might have spotted on the map already. Of course, we're going into the area that used to be the Shimmering Flats, which is now some kind of shimmering lake. This is just returning the Shimmering Flats to what they used to be. You'll remember there used to be a wrecked high elf boat in that area. It was a basin-style thing, so I assume it used to be a lake, and now it's a lake again. There's also a fairly significant centaur encampment here on the ridge. These are all neutral, so we might have some more faction stuff like we had back in the day. Was that Desolus, if I recall correctly? You had those two different factions of centaur you had to choose between. Well, this appears to be a different faction entirely. They are neutral, so they're not going to attack you. A little bit of a goblin outcropping there, no doubt a quest to be had. And now we're heading to the major feature of this new zone. It is a huge sail barge. You can see it coming up there in the distance. This thing is massive. Relatively speaking, anyway. Used to be the Mirage Raceway, now called the Mirage Abyss. And you'll see this huge barge here, and it looks goblin, but this is the weird thing. I don't know the storyline behind this area, but are you noticing that it's not just goblins here? Goblins and gnomes are on this boat, and they're not trying to kill each other. It's a very bizarre combination of goblin engineering with this style of gnomish architecture. You can see it in almost everything here. Doesn't look the same as your normal run-of-the-mill goblin play, simply because, well, half of it isn't. Oh look, it's TRH. I cannot imagine what the storyline behind this area is and why these two races would be cooperating in such a manner. I can only assume it's got something to do with making money. Now, these guys are technically hostile to us, but they don't appear to be PvP enabled. So, it's a shared area by the looks of it. I'm not seeing all that many guards, so I don't really know how that's going to work out. But we'll take off and we'll have a look at the whole thing from the air. Very nice looker, as you can see. Looking forward to find out what's going on. Well, apparently there's some kind of party, and I was not invited. That is one drastic change, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt about that. There is one more thing in this area I'd like to show you, as well as a little surprise at the end of this video. Bit of trivia. Seems the South Sea Brigands are at it again. Several pirate ships that are firing on the barge, although the barge doesn't seem to give a damn. The pirate aim is absolutely atrocious. I would think quests will be involved that will have you clear those out. Okay, let's have a look at one last area. You might have seen a little blue blip on the ridge there as we passed. I would like to show you that in more detail. This is very odd. What's going on here? Who is that? Oh, look. He didn't used to be a mad magus. He is now. And what is that giant chicken? You get out of the way. Oh, look! It's Plucky.
Hey there.
Apparently he was recaptured by his master. And apparently he blames him for causing the Cataclysm. That's wonderful. Allow me to purchase one of your fine poultry. Fantastic. This pre-made now has a pet. And I get an achievement. Even better. My day is complete. Where is it? I usually have my Murky on my bar. I miss my Murky. Well, it looks like he's doomed to a life of eternal chicken torment. What a shame. My name is Total Biscuit, and this has been a look at Thousand Needles. I'll see you next time.